Welcome, you guys. Thanks for coming. Erin, are you there? Can you hear me? Josh? Is everyone on? Feel free to unmute yourself if you can hear me and say hi. Love to make sure that your audio is working.
Hello.
Hey, Josh. Thanks for doing that. Erin, can you hear us okay?
She says she's almost there.
Oh, good. Luvanos, can you hear us as well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay. Oh, is it Anthony? What do you go by?
I go by Anthony.
Anthony, perfect. It was just showing your last name at first. So thanks for joining us. That's great. I'm glad you made it. So I like your background. Is that real or is it fake?
It's just a virtual background.
Okay, because sometimes I've seen people in places like that where they're literally sitting outside.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Erin, great. Welcome. Okay. Everyone looks like they're on board. We had one other person that was on. Hi. Were any of you at TALAS?
There we go. I had my volume off. Sorry, crazy. How are you all?
Good. Doing great. Thank you. Did any of you make it to TALAS, the TALAS conference? Okay, great. I just wanted to see. I was there, so I was just wondering if you saw me in passing or and whatnot. So perfect. So what we're going to do is if more people join on, we're going to continue on. But what we're going to do today is we're going to build out a website. So this is just a code workshop. You can also get, professional development certificate at the end. So if you would like one of those, we can actually, send one of those over to show you that you spent an hour doing professional development with coding and computer science. This is a lot of fun. So as you're all educators, you know that you can do this for your school. We actually do coding workshop events for your students. So we do it for free. We come on, we provide an instructor. We do it both in Spanish and in English if you want to do that as well. So you'll see it kind of essentially how it goes and what you can do. And your kids can get on virtually. We've done it with families where the student and the family gets on as well. So they're a lot of fun. So if that's something that you want to do in the future, just let me know. I'd be happy to make that happen with our marketing team. Sam Sappenfield's on as well. She's our head marketer here. And so she'll be able to help us tie it all together and get your students and your districts involved. So thanks you guys so much for coming. We're going to get started now. I'm going to actually share my screen. Sam is also, if you're in chat, have you seen the playground link right there? I want everyone to jump in and open up the playground link. I'm going to jump in as well. I'm going to share my screen here. And here we are. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Everyone see that okay? So I was just playing around for a minute before we jumped on, and I started to create a simple website. So I've added in a few things. We're going to do the same things with you today. We're going to go through step by step of what it all looks like and how to build it out yourself. So is everyone in? It should ask for your first name and your last name and your email to get into the same place. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file for mine. You should have a blank file already, so it should look like this for you. Does yours all look like this? Awesome, great. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start out and we're going to create our website. So have any of you done any coding before? By raise a hand or like shout out. Oh, you have? Okay, great. I love seeing that. So we're going to start with, this is HTML. So we're going to teach you the basics of HTML. And what we're going to start with is our headers. So when we go through this, I'm going to actually move some things around. So when we come in, we're going to have what some people call it the alligator tag. And they're these little less than, greater than symbols. So as you can see, you just add it in. And if you want to follow along, you just add in the less than, greater than sign. And then we're going to do a header tag, which is an H1. It's the biggest one there is. And then we're going to also add in a closing tag here. So this is your first elements you need to add something into a website. And we're going to type in hello world. And as you can see, it pops up. So this is the very first thing that was ever written in coding was hello world, and that popped up. So we add that. That's kind of like your initiation. I've started to code. add in hello world. So if everyone wants to do that and follow along and add that in, you can see that pop up on the right-hand side. So today we're going to go through, there's 6 different sizes. So I want you all to start to do the same thing. We've done the hello world first, and we're going to do the next tag, which these little carrots right here, you add it in. We're going to do a 2. So if you'll follow along and add that in as well. I'm going to do a header tag, and we're going to say, you can say whatever you want. I'm just going to add my name just to see how you can see the different sizing. And as you add these in, I want you to go all the way to 6. We're going to go for header tags, and we're going to go all the way through to 6 right here. And it takes just a second. And you can add in, I'm going to put in skill struct. So as you can see, it's kind of getting smaller as you go through, right? So I'm going to let you go through and do it to 6, and then see if you see how small 6 is. I'm going to go and do it with you as well. So I'm going to add in my H4. And my H5, everyone go all the way down through this. Oops. And as you can see, if I don't put in the right tag, I put in an H6 with an H5, it's telling me something's wrong. It goes red. It's saying, hey, you've got an error here. You need to fix that. So we're going to go back, delete that, and add in my H5. So sometimes coders, when you're coding, it's a lot easier. Even you can just copy and paste, change it out. You can add in the 6. That's also a faster way to do it. If you're like, hey, I want to make these. If you're building out a website, you can add them in faster that way. And then as you can see, they keep getting smaller and smaller. So you have your H1 through your H6, and you can see it's getting super small. Very simple things to show you the different sizes in the heading. Basic, straightforward things. So what I want to do, instead of just going through all the H1 tags and everything else, let's create a website. So I'm going to actually delete those. You can feel free to go underneath those H tags that you just created, but I want to create a website, and you can pick a theme. So I had, as you saw, the surf one. I'm going to actually stick with the Hawaii theme for mine. So is it the Olympics? Is it history? Is it math? Is it something else that you want to do it on? Pick a theme. Everyone just pick a separate theme, and we're going to build that out. So I'm going to do my Hawaii one, and I'm going to do my tags. And so we're going to create our first header. So whatever you want to name your website, let's put it on here. So I'm going to put Hawaii faves. How about that? I don't love it. Anyone else love it? Okay, so I'm going to put Hawaii favorites. And then if you have a Mac, it's really easy to add in those emojis. I like to just throw them on. You can actually go to the emoji website, and you can copy and paste those. You can actually bring it over and paste it in. It'll do the same thing. So if you want to add a little flair to yours, you can do that as well. And then I'm going to do the next thing. So what's mine going to be about? I think I'm going to do mine about surfing, because that is the thing that I started to get into while I was in Hawaii, which was a lot of fun. So I'm going to put my favorite surf spots. And then I'm going to add 3 different places that I love, maybe 3 different beaches. So pick out 3 different themes you want for yours, however you want to code that out. If you're doing the Olympics, maybe your favorite sports that you love. If you're doing, you know, history, maybe it's your favorite presidents or your favorite senators right now, or your favorite, whatever it is, like choose those. I'm going to choose my favorite beach spots. And so I'm going to do those as an H3. So I'm going to create my tags, and then I'm going to say Waimea Beach. Has anyone been to Hawaii here? No? Yes? A few of you? Great. I encourage everyone to make it there some point in their life. I think it's a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to do the H3 here as well. I'm just going to copy this so I can add another one. And then I'm going to put Sunset Beach here. And I'm going to put Chun's Beach here. So those are my 3 headers right there. So you can see they're still my headers of my next, of like what I want to talk about, what I want my website to be about. But is everyone kind of right there to that point? You feel like you're all on board? Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, we'll say that I guess whatever I'm typing on the left isn't popping up on the right.
Okay, great. So if you have any questions, you can also put it in the chat, but if it's not popping up on the right, what I would do is I would go do a hard refresh, just refresh your page up top and try to get
your code too before you hit refresh, and then so you can paste it back in.
Yeah, copy your code for sure. Thanks, Sam. That work for you, Anthony? Awesome. Okay, great. So if anyone else is having that problem, just do the same thing and just refresh your page. It should pop up. So thank you for putting that. Also, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat as well. Our team will be able to help out. There's only a few of us, so feel free to unmute yourself anytime you have a question as well. So, so from there, what we're going to do is a paragraph tag. So not everything is a header. So we're going to add in a paragraph, and you're going to do the same caret opening, and you add a P this time for paragraph. So we're going to do the exact same things we did before with the closing tag, that /, and then we're going to add a P there. And then we're going to type in some basic paragraph here for yourself for whatever your titles are. I'm going to add, this is my favorite, sunbathing. Okay, so I just put something basic in there, but you can see it makes it a lot smaller. It makes it a regular paragraph. You can use this anytime you're trying to like add in, paragraphs or whatever it is that you to describe something, whatever it is that you want. Okay, so what I want you to do is add the paragraph to each of those tags that you've done. Just for practice, it gives you a chance to be able to really practice your skills of like what we're putting in here. So the paragraphs, it helps us ingrain that in our memory as well. So Sunset Beach. And then I'm going to add one more if everyone's hopefully to that same spot. Oops.
Oh, wait a minute.
Do you have any questions? Okay. Okay, great. So I added in a few different things. Okay, is everyone there to that point? They have a few paragraphs in. So it looks a little boring, right? It's like, cool, we have black text. If you hit this button at the bottom, it says open in a new window. It'll actually open up and show you what your website looks like. So this is just all of your coding is going. This is what it would look like on your actual website right now. If you were to open it up and you had your domain tied to it, this is all it would look like, right? So what we want to do is make sure that we make it a little more interesting than what we have. So I'm going to come back in here and let's add some style to it. So what you can do is if you come into your tag, see this H2, I'm right here at the favorite surf spots. I'm on this part right here. And if you can see my little cursor in there, I'm going to add in style. Now, if you see how it turns blue, it's saying, hey, I'm telling it to do something new. And I'm going to put an equal tag. So it's saying, hey, whatever is in here is what we're going to run. And so in the quotations that you've put, I'm going to add in color. And I think I'm going to do color blue. Do you see how it immediately changed that color on your title there? Okay, is anyone feeling like they have any questions or are they stuck? Is their editor working? Okay. Looks like everyone's in a good spot. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to go through and let's add style to each of these. I'm going to go to the Waimea and I'm going to add in another style. I'm going to add in my quotations there and put it in between those quotation marks. And I think I'm going to change this color to turquoise, if I can remember how to spell turquoise. Oops, see how I missed it? I didn't even put color. Color with your colon, and then add in your color that you want to put. And it should change that color. So I'm going to add this to each of those. Change them a little bit. I'm going to do this one pink, just so you can see that there are different colors that you can add to them. I'm not loving that, but we might have to change those up. Okay, did everyone add some colors? Good, because I want at the end what we're going to do is we're going to see what everyone did. I want to see kind of what everyone else is doing. I'm actually going to come in and change my colors just to match because I just like it better. So I'm going to do that. Add those in. Oh, there we go. Perfect. And anytime it doesn't show up, it's usually you check for that, like, did I type it out right? Did I spell it right? Did I add in my little quotations? So the computer will constantly tell you, hey, something's missing. If it doesn't work, then something's wrong, right? Okay, so we're at this point. So the next thing I want to do is I want to add in a picture. So this is way more, this is where it gets kind of fun. I love the color. I love to add that in, but we're going to add in. So when you go under one of your headers, I'm going to do it just under my Waimea Beach, and I'm actually going to add in, and it's called an image tag. So it's just IMG, and then you do a space and it's source, and we're going to go find where that source is. So it's just like how style is. You do the equal sign, and then we're going to do the quotations, and then you're going to end it with that same caret tag on the other side. So you have that closing caret there for you. So you always have that closing and opening. Sometimes on these headers, as you can see, there's that / that it needs. On these image tags, it only needs a closing caret here. So we're going to have to go get this now. So what I want you to do is on your browser, open up either Unsplash. So I have like Pixabay open right now. I have Unsplash. It just depends on what you want to do. So if you type in just Unsplash, and if you're like, okay, what is it? You can click on Unsplash here. And then we're going to type in, for mine, I'm going to type in surfing. If you have something else, you can type in something else. I'm going to actually go back. My first one's Waimea Beach. So I'm going to even see if they just have a picture of Waimea. Oops. See what we have here. Find a fun picture. Ooh, I like that one. I'm just going to click on that picture and it'll open up. And then how you do this is you right click, you just hold it down, and we're going to copy that image address. So if you see that, I'm going to copy that image address, and then we're going to take it back over to our site, and we're going to put it just right in between those quotations. And we're going to just copy and paste that. So once you've copied and pasted that, as you can see, it popped up on my site. Now that is huge. That is way too big. If you see it, if I open it up here, you can see here's my full on screen picture. Like I don't want my picture to be that big. So I'm actually going to come back to my code. And at the end of that, if you can see, I'm at the end of my image here, and right before my caret, I'm going to add in width. And I'm going to hit equals. I'm going to try 500 and see what that does for me. Oh, it made it a lot smaller. See how that fits better on my page? Okay, I'm going to give you all a second. Did everyone find an image and be able to copy and paste that? If you have any questions, drop it in the chat as well. We have people watching the chat, but you should be able to just, like I said, if you go back to there, just right click, copy image address, click on that, and then you're going to come back over to your website and you just paste it right in between those quotation marks. So then you can be able to get that. And then once you've got it in, if it's massive like mine was, some may be small, so you don't have to worry about it. But mine was so big, I had to add in width there so that it would resize my image so that it wasn't taking up the whole page. And if you can see, I can make it even smaller. I could add in 300. Now look how small it is, right? So you can play with the size that you like and what you think works for your page. I'm going to just keep mine at 500. So I'm going to actually go in and I want to put a picture in for each of these. So I'm going to go into my next one and I'm going to go right under this next tag. You can add some spacing in your code if you'd like, just to make it so you can read it better and be able to see where you're at. So I'm going to go in and do another image tag, and I'm going to do source equals, add those quotations and add my ending caret so that it closes it and actually makes it so your code works. And now I'm going to go see if I can find another picture. I'm going to see if they have anything for Sunset Beach. These are kind of fun. Well, it is a sunset, so which one do I want to do? I'm just going to grab this one right here. So I'm going to click on it. Like we said before, right click, copy address, image address, come back to your code and put it right between those quotations. You're just going to Command V it in if that's easiest for you. You can either right click and then put paste in there as well. I do Command V. It's just a quick keyboard command that's easy to throw it in there. And as you can see, I'm going to scroll down. There it is. Wow, that one's huge too. So I'm going to add in the width at the end. I'm going to put width equals 500. Let's see if that helps. Oh, perfect. Now they're the same size. That's what I like. Keep it uniform. When you're building out, if you do it to one, do it to another, right? It'll keep it uniform and it helps you kind of see, okay, it's looking a little cleaner. Let's see what this looks like now if we open it up. So we have these all on the left side. They're a little bit smaller. We've got some paragraphs underneath. I'm going to close those now. At least know what my website's starting to look like. And I'm going to add in, actually on Chun's Beach, we'll add a video there. Is everyone ready for a video? Anyone have any questions to this point? Okay, let's add in a video. So for me, if I'm building a website, I want it to be interactive because this is a real website. You really want it to work. So let's do a video. So we're going to actually, we're going to go to YouTube or Vimeo. Choose your site that you want to go to. It's up to you on what you want to do. Open that up and I'm going to put learn to surf. Let's say in Hawaii. See what it comes up with. Hawaii Surfing 101. We've got some of these other ones. Got some bucket list family. Oh, this one has 334,000 views. Wow, that's pretty great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, and if you see the share button down here in the gray, can you see that okay? It's right here. See my cursor? I'm going to click on that. And right here, it pops up Facebook, Twitter, email, WhatsApp, and there's also this embed.
This is the check.
So you're going to click on that embed, and then you're going to hit copy. So it copies that code for you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over to my website, and I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to add this in. Where do I want to put this? I think I'm going to put it right under Chun's Beach. And I'm going to paste it in. Now, I'm going to scroll to make sure it got added. Do you see that? We easily added a video into our website. How simple is that to add? That's a pretty cool thing. If we come back to the code, just to make you understand so you can understand what's happening, they're taking what's called iframe. And so essentially any website that has videos is going to have this code. And this is a way for the computer to recognize what you're doing and to be able to see what's happening. It has a width and a height. So if I wanted to, I could actually change. I wonder if I could change this height. Let's see. You can always play with the code to see what happens with it. See how it kind of shrunk it in? It totally changed that. And if I'm like, well, I don't love what it did, I can just Command Z it and go back. So it's back to the 560. So it kind of matches up with everything else that I'm doing. Was everyone able to throw in a video, a movie, a little clip in there? Oh, are you on mute? Does someone have a question? Okay, Anthony, did you have a question?
No, I'm still working on my video.
Okay, great. Yeah, add those in. I'm going to give you a minute. I kind of went through that pretty fast. I'll give you guys a minute. Well, I know I'll just wait for you for just a moment to get caught up. I'm going to look at all of mine to see what's happening. Image source. I'm going to add some spaces so I can read mine easier. I think I'm going to change the name of this because I added in my video. So I'm going to say learn to surf. Perfect. So on the bottom, it should say that now. Yeah, right here, we have that learn to surf. Perfect. Okay. Everyone feel good? Okay, great. So I'm going to actually teach you one other thing that, so when you're doing a website, you want it to all flow. So like I could come in here and I could make it so that where it says Hawaii favorites, I could actually add in another style here. So if you type in style, you could actually say text align, and I could say center. See how it moved that over to the center? So now it's like, oh, that looks actually a little better. Maybe if you're on a website, you want to do that, you can do it right there. You can do it on each individual one. You could actually also add in, you add in a semicolon here. You can actually add in font family, and it's all the same. You add that colon there as well, and you can say impact. And now I just broke my website. There we go. So as you can see, my header, it changed, and you can see that the font also changed. That's kind of a fun thing. So if you're like, you know, I want my header to be different, my overall website to have its own look to it, I want it to be that. But you can also, we're going to add in, if you hit a hard enter or return right there on your H1 and give you a little space, and we're going to actually add in what's is a body tag. Now this is pretty standard and uniform. Every website that you build, you actually should always have your body. There's the whole document should have this. So everything goes in between the body. So I'm going to copy in this, and I'm going to cut it, and I'm actually going to put it at the very bottom of my screen here in my code. So you have your closing body tag at the bottom and your opening body tag. So everything's in between this right here. And so when we come onto this body, you can actually, so I put the text align center in this one, but if I just take this style out right here, leave this a regular header, and we can paste it in here, you can see everything is now centered. See how everything moved over, everything went to that. I'm going to take this out again so we can just do it together. So I'm going to do body, type in style here, add your equal sign with your quotations, and then I'm going to add text align, and then we're going to add the colon, and we're going to say center. So you can see it immediately moves everything over to the center. Your pictures went to the center, your paragraphs as you scroll down, everything is moved to the center on your page. And then if you open up your tab to see, well, what does this look like on my website? How is it looking? Do I like the flow of it? You click on that open new window, and I'm getting there we go. So you open it up, and you can see everything's kind of moved to the center. You've aligned it so that it has kind of a flow down the middle. If you like that, keep it on yours. If you don't, you can decide, you know what, I don't want it all there, so I'm going to take it off the body. You can actually, you know, just decide, I want this just to be for my header. So I'm going to add it here. Oops, you have to add that space. Don't forget that so that it works. And then it will just be your header for right there. Depends on what you want to do. You can add it to the body. You can add it to just there. If you want to do everything else to be the same font family, you can just add style, put your quotations there, and then say font family here. So it's going to say, think of any font that if there's a certain font you like, if it's Helvetica, if it's Impact, if it's sans serif, whatever it is that you like for yours, pick that one and put it there. So if I put impact, it's very clear on what it's going to do, and it does it to every single title, every word on your page. See my paragraph tags, it kind of makes it hard to read. So, you know, maybe I don't want to do that one. Maybe I like Helvetica. For my words, I like the style of it. I like how it looks better. And then if you wanted to do something else, if you wanted to come down in here for favorite surf spots or for any of these, if I was here, you can add on your font family to any paragraph. So you can actually put a colon. So I've come down to this Waimea H3 tag, and I'm going right after my turquoise, and you're going to add a semicolon there. You can add font family. And then you could say impact. And see how it
Do you know
impacts.
what the default font is? Is it Times New Roman? The default?
I think it might be sans serif. I think Times New Roman, you could try it. I mean, we could check it out right now and see what times, what is it? I don't spell it out, Times New Roman. I think you could just do, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual one is. I think it is just a traditional sans serif as the main one. Great question, Sam. But yeah, so you can change your font anywhere you want on there. That's kind of a fun thing to do if you're just kind of like, hey, I want to do that. You could actually come in and say, you know, on here, on your body up here, let's go up to the top and let's add in a semicolon here. And let's do background color here. Hyphenate this so it says background color, add your colon, and then you could do background color. See how my whole my background went pink? So now my whole website is pink behind it. So if you're like, oh, that's kind of fun, I want to do that. Not in love with that. So I'm going to put in like gray, see if that works. So yeah, so you can put in gray, regular gray. I think there's like a darker gray, as you can see if you put that in. So you can play with these things. That's what's so much fun about coding, is that there's so much you can do to play with. Your styling of your body, you can actually make it so that you have where it's broken up, where you can have boxes where it's just everything's boxed out in sections, and you can color just your sections. So there's so much to code. I'm giving you a lot of information right now, but there's a lot you can do that just makes it a lot of fun. Is everyone where I am? Does anyone need another minute? I know, Jacqueline, you came in a little bit later. I hope you're okay on catching up. These are just some fun things that we've done. We have paragraph tags, and you know, we're adding in our colors and our background images and things like that. So we've gotten to that point. So now say you're on your paragraph, and let's add in another thing. I want it to be very interactive. I love having an interactive website. I think that makes it a lot more fun. What if you want a hyperlink? Say you're in this paragraph, if you're down, let's go down to just right under Waimea Beach in our first paragraph tag here. Say you want to add in a hyperlink. Now, this is something that you see on all kinds of websites where you can just click on a hyperlink and it takes you somewhere else. This is something that I think is a lot of fun and very useful also for websites. So you're going to come in, and there it's called an ahref, which is kind of a funny word, but it's your tag for your to do any tags for hyperlinks, to link it out to another website. So if I was right here and I wanted to hyperlink, you know, an article or something like that, you can actually come in any part of your paragraph here and say this beach also has cliff jumping. So maybe right here, I'm going to add in my A tag. So I'm going to say A, I'm going to add this in. I'm going to put in an A and then a space, and you put href like that. And it's just like the others that we've done. You add in that equal signs with your quotations. And then we're going to find whatever it is. We need to add in a closing tag as well. So we're going to add in a closing tag. Actually, do I want to do that right now? Hold on. That at the end. Okay. Now we're going to go find you can go to any website. So if whatever it was that I was teaching, let's see, what did I say I want to do? Cliff jumping. So if I wanted to go something to a website and type in cliff jumping, and you can see, oh, maybe people don't understand what cliff jumping is. Maybe people are new to cliff jumping. So I just want to get the definition of cliff jumping, right? So I can come in and copy that URL. So we're just going to copy our URL up top. It talks about cliff jumping. Whatever is your topic or whatever you focused yours on, go in, even go to Wikipedia and do the same thing. Grab it off of Wikipedia, you know, maybe a definition of something that you've built your website around. And then you're going to come in and add in your cliff jumping here. And then we're going to add in a closing A tag here so that it pulls in that we know that it's cliff jumping. Where on my page are we? So right here, see this? So as I scroll down under Waimea, you can see my little cliff jumping underlined it, and it's also hyperlinked in purple. So then anyone can come to your site, they can click on this, and it should open up that, and it shows you, hey, cool, look at, this is where we are with my cliff jumping. I'm gonna move my video camera out of the way and do this. Oop. Window. Okay. So I open it up. So open in a new window. It shows me, this is how my site looks so far. You can come down, you can actually play your videos on your site. As you can see, we have all of those things going on. And then up here, I want to put in a hard line, a hard break here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add in a hard break right under serve spots. And I think I talked to you about this a little bit earlier. You can just type in for a hard break to add a line. We're going to add this here. See how it kind of gives us this little hard break line there? You can add it under, it kind of makes it feel a little more clean. It gives you a little bit of a line, a break in there. You can also, if you feel like I want some, you know, maybe I want a hard break. This beach also has cliff jumping. So where I put that, I could come in and do a hard break there if I wanted to as well. And add my, as you can see, I'm kind of in this paragraph right here. I'm going to add in a break, and that's a BR, and it just comes right in. And then as you scroll down, you can see it put it right here. It moved this just down below. So I don't really want it right there. I'm going to move it in front of this beach. So I'm going to add it here and see how it did that one. It gave it another space. I'm actually going to add in another break if I want to have two spaces, so it kind of spaces it apart. See how it does that over here. It gave us an extra space there. So you can add in breaks. It just allows you to play with your code because you're the one that has to tell, you know, your code what it's doing and what it looks like, and it makes it just very easy to be able to see and whatnot. So it's pretty awesome to have that. It makes it really great and easy to view for you. So I am going to do that. Okay, so I think we've gotten to a good point. Is everyone following along pretty well? Okay. All right, so we have gotten to a point. Does anyone, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second. Does anyone want to share their screen or show what they've built? All right, Anthony, I love this. Okay, so we're going to give you, Sam, do you want to do that? Give him permission to share. I think you should be able to share. Anthony, show us what you've built so far. Let's see where you've gotten to. Oh, look at yours.
It's awesome.
Awesome. Cool, let's scroll down a little bit. This looks great. Learn to lead. I love the title. I love what you've done on it as well. That's awesome. Okay, so do you feel pretty comfortable with everything that's on there? Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, great. Anyone else? Ivan, I don't know if you had a chance, but were you able to build something?
I tried to build something too. I could
Oh, Sam, you did? Let's see. I want to see what you built. Let's share that.
I'll share mine, and then Ivan, if you want, you can share yours. Just a second. It's really like this is my first time actually coding along with a code event, so this is just what I did. But
Oh,
um,
fun.
I just did Seaside, Oregon. It's like a place my family visits quite often. And then just things to do: surfing downtown, hiking.
Oh,
Anyway,
pretty. Yeah.
what colors to do? The pink and the red kind of hurt my eyes, but it's just what.
I know it's funny choosing because it's like especially when you don't have a lot of time, you don't have time to really like say, hey, this is what it looks like, or this is how it should look, so awesome. Whose is this?
This might be Ivan's.
Ivan, is it yours? Can you unmute yourself? I don't know if you're on mute or not. That looks awesome. Baseball fields. This is great. Awesome. I love that. Jacqueline, were you able to get anything built? I know you came in a little bit late. I want to see if you were. No problem, Ivan. We get it. Sometimes you don't have a mic,
I am just starting. I am going through the lesson portion
cool.
so that I can, I guess, teach myself.
Yes, so that's one of the wonderful things about it is that on the left-hand side, I'm going to reshare my screen right now. Let me open this back up to where I was. On the left-hand side, you can actually, yes, that little book, it says everything that you can do. There's text colors, there's headers, there's fonts. It goes over, breaks and dividers, ordered lists and unordered lists. Those are really fun as well, where if you're trying to say, hey, these are my favorite places to eat within the area of Waimea Beach, or if you're at Fenway Park, or if it's, you're at a conference learning to lead, like you could add in those things, those unordered lists and those ordered lists. And then everything on there, I kind of pick out the things that I think are a little more fun to show, because pictures are always fun. I think videos are always fun to play with, and you can add them in. And then as you get in and build, use this the next couple of days to play with it. You can actually get in, section them out, only have colored behind the background picture and the wording on one of them if you want. And you can go in and do event listeners on different clicks, on clicks and whatnot. So there's a lot of fun things. As you can see, even outside of HTML, if I make that smaller, you can actually come in and play with more things and just get in and enjoy it. Coding is about fun, and it's so much to do. If you don't want this in the way, you can actually hit this little X and it'll make it so that code is bigger for you so you can see more of what you're building. It's really nice functionality there. As you can see, it's very simple to straightforward to be able to code here. So yes, please do, Jacqueline, if you have that opportunity, just use those lessons to follow along. You can always email me any questions that you have. I'd be happy to go through it with you more if you want to do that. But this is the fun thing, is that your students can learn, and it's just like math or English, right? Like you don't have to be great at math. You don't have to be great at math to learn how to code. It's just being introduced, right? It's being given the tools so that you can come in and learn. And as you learn, it's going to help your problem solving skills. It's going to help you do better in math and English and science and everything else. It increases your ability to grasp concepts. That's why I love coding. I think it's truly a ton of fun to be able to get in and play around. So those are all the things that we have there. Is there any questions today that you have? Okay, great. So like we said earlier, that's like all the things that we'll go through today. But if you have questions, or if you want to do this for your school, we do free code workshops where you can have your classrooms come in, you can have your students really learn, and we'll provide the teachers in the backup. And it's all just to introduce kids. I know a lot of people around, the code week in December, people like to do stuff like that. or even just to introduce kids. I know kids of all backgrounds think, oh, I have to be this smart kid to be able to do this, or I have to be, you know, at this school to do this. No, we want them to know it's for everyone. And so if you're interested in having this for your school, please reach out. I'm going to drop my email in the chat. So if you want to chat more about what this could look like for every grade, we do it for K through 12. You know, if you have those young learners, they can actually really do well with this. And our high school students, we go all the way up through Python and JavaScript, and we go through 1 and 2. We're actually almost finishing up an AP class this coming January for AP Computer Science. So there's so much to learn. We want your kids and yourself, even if you want to learn, to go all the way through, that by the time they leave high school, they could actually get a software engineer position if that's something they love. If it's not, it's helped them do better in school. It's helped them be able to be a better problem solver, which is pretty exciting. So anyway.
Hey, Chrissy, Ivan asked the tag for videos. Is it just iframe?
Yeah, it's just iframe. Yep. So any video you want to pull, you can either just do the tag like iframe, how we had it on our website. If I can open my screen back up and show you what that tag looks like as we scroll down. So this is your iframe. So YouTube is saying, hey, this is this specific video that I have, and this is where we're going to put it. And so it has a place to go find it, but it allows the computer to say, hey, let's pop this up. And all you have to do is go to YouTube or to Vimeo, and you'll be able to copy. They all have that embedded in there, so that you can just go hit the embedded quotes on YouTube like we did. I can even go back there and show you. As you can see on here, I'm already at it. So I'm going to click out of this. And then as you see, just on that share button right here, you click that, embed, you just click on this right here, and it shows you all the code right here, as you can see for this video. So you know exactly, I just hit copy here because it's really easy to do. And it gives you a few options, and then you can just come back to your code and drop it into here, and you just can copy and paste that right in. So yeah, great question, Ivan. You can easily just use, it's the iframe tag, as you see. It has the iframe right there. They put a width and a height, and then they're just saying source. Where are we getting this from? So they've made it really easy for you, but they're just doing exactly what we did on images. You just do, you know, that source equals, you do the quotations. All they're doing is copying and pasting that URL in. So if for some reason you found a video and they don't have that copy, you just do the iframe source equals with those quotations. You can drop in that URL there and be able to follow that along. You'll probably have to play with the width and different things like that, but most will have it so that you can embed that. So so you don't have to do the dirty work and writing it all out. It's kind of nice that it's already there. So yeah, any other questions?
Yeah, I just had a question about what's the difference between this and like a code bashing platform?
Like a what was that last part?
Code bashing platform.
So the difference with Skillstruck, is that what you're asking with Skillstruck?
Mhm. Yeah.
Great. So the Skillstruck, we actually have like a whole LMS. So for teachers, I'm going to share a different screen with you. Just 1 second. So when teachers come on, you can actually have a whole LMS set up to where, close out of that. Perfect. So can you see my screen? So a teacher portal, they come in, and you as a teacher have the resources where you can come in and you can see your students' progress, and you can see, oh, they've come through, and you have all your students' names. You can see which lessons they've gone through. They've gone through HTML basics, headers, text colors. You can kind of see a progress bar of how far they're along. You can click on it, see what they've submitted for that submission, so you can check their code. You can see what they've done, so that it's a straightforward place for a teacher to say, okay, I can view the submission. I can see their quizzes, checkpoint attempts, you know, quiz attempts. You can actually click on the student and compare them to the class average with, you know, where they're at, how they're doing. Are they doing well? Are they not doing well? Anyway, come down and view their code. You can see some of their projects that they've done that you've asked them to do. What does it look like? That kind of stuff. And then when you come back to this platform, it's really cool because you can manage your curriculum. Like, so when we're on the platform, it showed like all those different lessons. You can actually lock what they can see or how far along they can go. it just gives you as a teacher the ability to not have to worry so much about all the details. It's auto graded. You know, you can come in and you can say, I don't really know how to teach this lesson. Well, we've given you a lesson plan. Here's what you're going to do. Here's how long it's going to take. Then it links right over to the platform for you. So you can just open it up and see where you're at and show them the quiz, right? So you can do the I do, you do, we do. It's really nice. If you need something to share more on that, we have all kinds of things. Sometimes we'll even have PowerPoints on different lessons depending on the lesson pop up. My computer's being a little bit slow as I'm sharing my screen. So I'm gonna pop back out here. You can do group projects with them. We also have Campus Pro. So when a teacher comes on and they're like, I don't really understand how to teach this, they can actually come on here and say, you know, what is HTML? How do I debug this? We do lightning lessons. So you get kind of the professional development side for the teacher as well. So it's like, you know, how do I reset a student's password? All of that is like extra to help you really be, you know, the best teacher that you can be, while allowing them to be able to get in, and, you know, you can get help as well. So it just depends on what you need, but yeah, so you get that on top of it where it's this LMS and you can track it auto grades. So the teacher isn't spending all this extra time, right? It's trying to save you time and allows the student to learn. It gives them that same thing where they can have the textbook on the left side, gives them the code editor, and it gives them an easy way for you to follow along and check and not have to have I've had so many different schools I've talked to where they're using, you know, this platform and they have a Google sheet and they're trying to track it all separately. And this is just making it very simple and straightforward. So yeah, great question, Anthony. Any other questions on that?
I just need to figure out the pricing scheme, whether or not the pricing scheme, what's the difference between, do you sell per license per campus or?
Yeah, so we do. So we actually do it, it's per license. So you can do like a site license where it gives every kid in the school access to it. Or if you're like, hey, we only teach it in this one class, then we do it per student. So it just depends on like, if you only have 20 seats, then we'll just do it per student that way. If you're going to do it for 600 people, yeah, the site license. And if you do it district wide, then there's different pricing there as well. So it's all about, you know, what you need for your school or your district, depending on what you're doing. So.
Yeah, I'd like to talk more about that if possible.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to drop do you have your email? I have your email from this. So what I can do is we can set up a time and we can walk through that if you have time later this week. I'd love to do that, Anthony. I'll set up a time after this. I'll just send you an email and we can talk about that. Does that sound good? Awesome. Well, that was a lot of fun. I hope everyone got something out of that. I enjoyed that. It was fun to see what you guys built. I thought that was really cool. And then if you guys have any other questions, Sam, did you drop my email into the chat, Sam Sappenfield?
I will right now. It's
great. She'll drop that in there. If you have any extra questions, I am happy to go through more in depth as well, answering extra questions on our platform, or if you want to do a coding workshop for your school as well. Love to chat with you more about that. But Anthony, I'll follow up with you right after this in email and we'll set up a time. Sound good? You guys, thank you so much for coming. It was a pleasure today. I'm so glad we got to do this.
Yeah, thank you. It was wonderful. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, you guys.